Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Casual KO here on Dangerous World Podcast. Coming off of a fun week, we were all over the place here. I got a couple dudes back. Alex is already dancing. He's seeming confident here. I'm excited to see what you got. I keep score here. I keep score. Now, Harry's not here, but we've got Alex, of course. We've got Jared, new friend of the show. And obviously, Nick's still not here. We will have him back at some point. Not sure when he's coming back, but we'll keep you posted. Now, I'm going to speak for Harry first here. He had some solid picks. Some of his best picks were Veronica Hardy and then Sean Brady. He also shared the Cody Brundage underdog pick with me. That was a nice sniper spot that we both nailed. Jared, your best pick by far was the main event, Arman Sarukian. You were the only one out of the four of us that picked Arman. I had mentioned, I feel like Benny might be on a sharp decline. And I think that we're going to see that, man. I don't think he wins another UFC fight unless he fights down big time, which is crazy to say, man.
He's going to be one hell of a gatekeeper.
He is sure going to be a one hell of a gatekeeper, but I think that anybody that tries to fight him, I think Jalen Turner probably beats him. I think quite a few people end up beating that dude here in the near future. But Alex had some nice sniper shots too. Dustin Stoltzfus, no one saw that coming other than myself, right? I mean, I also picked Dustin. And then, who else do we have here? Close. You got Close as well. That was a nice little slam. You got back-to-back slams, dude. You never see that. Now, real quick, before I bring these guys in, I had Cody Brundage. I made a last-minute switch over to Miesha Tate. We all picked, and you can go back and you can listen. We all picked Avila. And I was like, dude, we all picked Avila. That means that Miesha Tate's going to win, right? What do you know? Miesha Tate fucking wins. And I actually texted Alex and I said, man, I think I'm going to switch my pick to Tate. It's like, all right, cool, whatever. Do you. I threw a little bit of money on her, got it, hit that. And I came up with the theory. And you actually see this kind of coming somewhat to fruition on like Full Send and all these things, where there's a super fight that does not involve Conor McGregor, okay? And no one knows who it is, and I hear podcasts guessing it back and forth. Who is it going to be? And they're coming like, is it going to be Nate Diaz? Is it Nick Diaz? George St. Pierre? Is it all these people? It's Miesha Tate and Ronda Rousey, dude. I don't think that's a fight that I'm excited about. I don't think that's a fight that anyone that's serious about the UFC right now is excited about. But Ronda Rousey draws names, and that's what a super fight is, people. No one's guessing this. No one's saying this. So you heard it here first on Casual KO. It's Ronda Rousey and Miesha Tate.
You're starting to persuade me too, but I feel like if they matched up anyone with Rousey, as long as she's somewhat, she's fighting someone attractive, I think she'll be all right. I think they'll pull some numbers, but
Miesha Tate's hot, dude. I don't care what anyone says. Miesha Tate's
kind
of hot.
It is? It's just that I'm just disappointed because it just feels like it's just going to be a classic money grab,
sure,
cash grab kind of fight.
That's what these even number pay-per-views are, man. 100 was that, 200 was that.
I think a lot higher of Dana White than to make like a one-time fight for Ronda.
Well, anytime that you think too highly of Dana White, just remember he's got Slap League, right? Slap fight.
That's a good point, and we are really preying on that downfall because I'm tired of hearing about it. I don't even watch it.
It's rough. It's rough. Now, to be fair, dude, I almost idolize Dana White. I don't really look up to any of these dudes that I don't know because you never really know about their past and shit. Dana White's a fucking G, dude. I love hearing his interviews. I watch every one of his interviews. He seems like a very interesting, genuinely interesting dude. Now, one fight that I wanted to mention to you guys real quick, too. Ior Potierin, okay? I picked this dude to win. He won that fucking fight. He won that fight. No fucking referee allows Bellato to take that much damage, and you better believe I'm fading Bellato every fight from here on out because that fight changed that man. Jared, I see you chomping at the bit. I'm going to introduce you first, dude. What's going on, brother? What do you think about my comments?
Well, I'm just going to pick up where you left off. I had Bellato by knockout at even odds, and that fight was over. He was knocked out. That fight was 100%.
He said he was knocked out too, Jared, right?
Oh,
he said
it was
in the ring.
It was 100% done. And I think the ref had the same guy I did because I don't know any other ref that's going to let that keep going. I mean, there had to be something there. I mean, come on. Like, there's got to be some. How do you let a guy take that much damage?
Dude, it was almost as bad as the Jalen Turner Bobby Green thing that happened later that night. It was almost as bad, like a single degree, less bad as that. Clearly,
Right.
Bobby Green's flat out, right? But dude, I don't see. I mean, no other ref in the world lets that fight continue. You saw this dude's eyes roll back in his head. Bellato, I'm speaking of. And Pateria, of course, he gassed out, and I give Pateria a lot of credit for that. Like I said, obviously he didn't win, but I think he won that fight. I think he's someone that I think that we can ride with in his next fight, and I think that Bellato's someone that you got to fade in his next fight because that fight I think changed him. I think that's the Tony Ferguson Gaethje fight for Bellato there, and I know that
the second that fight ended, it's so funny you bring that up. The second the fight ended, I turned to Alex. I said, I cannot wait to fade this man.
nice. Okay, we're on
That
the
was good.
same boat. It's a shame that he had to go through that, but I didn't think that high of him going in there. I thought he was slow. I thought he was just kind of one of these dudes that leans against the cage and does this boring bullshit. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. Alex, what's going on, buddy? What do you think of
You know what I thought?
yeah.
I turned to Jared and I said, I can't wait to bet on Ehor in his next fight.
You guys are on the same page as me then.
Ah,
That's what's up.
Impressed. I was pretty impressed.
Yeah, he came out there freaking throwing hammers, and we talked about that new Jesus tattoo. We're like, dude, this guy can't lose.
And
Only
we
thing was
know
that
any other ref could have ended that early and gave the win to Ehor. So honestly, it's not even a bad loss for him.
yeah, I'm surprised. And he looked so tired. He looked so like ruined after it. Wellington Turman, just a fucking dirtbag. I mean, that guy ruined so many of my things. I had a DraftKings fantasy thing going that if he just would have finished like he was supposed to, I would have placed probably top 10 in it. Instead, I got fucking $6, but whatever. We'll move on to this week. I will share the screen. Do you guys want to mention anything before we actually start talking about UFC Vegas 83?
I mean, I want to forget all about
Bobby
last
Green.
week.
Oh, okay. What were you saying, Alex?
I said I want to forget everything about last week. To be honest,
Oh.
I got smoked. My only win in play was Brady.
Okay. Well, hey, you win
and I
some,
watched
you
one of
lose
my
some.
favorite fighters almost die in the ring.
Yeah, it's
For
tragic.
Bobby Green. I'm glad
And
he's
Jared, that's what you were saying right now, right? You wanted to talk about Bobby Green a little bit.
Just pay a little respect to the little tribute to the dead.
Dude, yeah, he's another one that might be a little different next time, right? That was a bad one. Horrible. But yeah, man, we've got some fun stuff going on. My computer is taking a shit on me right now, of course. Let me see what I can do here real fast before we start rolling. Just close out of the internet and see what I can do. But yeah, so Vegas 83, a lot of kind of low level fights on this card, right? As I'm trying to pull this up. Several double debutante fights, I think 2 or 3. The opening fight of the night, as the card stands right now, is just a total snoozer. You've got the girl that I don't know if you guys watched that Contender Series fight where she popped in and fought a younger girl, and she's this jiu-jitsu whiz, but then just has no gas tank, and it ended up being a draw.
Yeah, I just was rewatching that fight about an hour ago. Dude,
brutal.
I mean, first off, when she pulls guard in the first round, that's already a red flag for me. I hate to see that.
Right.
But she won the first 2 rounds, but I mean, she was dead going into that second round. In the third round, I mean, she was really hanging on by a fucking thread. So then when, I'm looking over the tape at Dos Santos, I'm like, please give me something to work with here so I can fade this girl.
And you didn't see much, did you?
I mean, granted, I'm judging her off of one fight. I didn't really do too much tape on this one because it really wasn't one I looked to be too interested in betting.
Right.
But yeah, right. Man. I mean, watching a girl win 2 rounds. First round, she won, I'd say, decisively. The second was a bit closer. But that third round, she was fucking gone, dude. And it wasn't a good look. And I think it's going to be the floor is lava for Dos Santos. She needs to stay off the ground. If she keeps this on the feet, I think I see that quit in Alan Carr. I think she could probably get her out of there round 3, because I watched Dos Santos fight against Denise Gomes, and she decisively won that first round.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
we might be dealing with a situation where both girls kind of have inferior gas tanks. But yeah,
it's
we
like
will see
it's
what
like we're
happens.
watching a contender series fight on a UFC card.
Yeah, which is fun, right? But at least we this is a free one. This isn't opening like a fucking main card or something. But I say we get right into it, man. We'll do a kind of similar thing since there's only three of us. I mean, we'll kind of alternate, who starts and who finishes and shit. I'll take this first one. We talked about a little bit Dos Santos. I think it's Rayanne Dos Santos versus Toledo Alencar. Not 100% sure on those names, but Dos Santos is a big girl, dude. For I believe I mean, I know she's an atom weight. I thought Alencar was an atom weight in Invicta or wherever she was fighting before. LFA, you see her in Titan FC. I thought she was also an atom weight. I might be misremembering that, but Dos Santos looks like the much bigger girl. She's a more physical one, the more well-rounded, loads more experience in MMA. Again, not something that we need to talk about too much. Let's see who's younger here too, because that sometimes matters. 5-year age difference in favor of Dos Santos. Just give me Dos Santos, man. This is probably going to be. I mean, it could potentially be a finish round 2 or 3 because of Alencar's horrible cardio. Just to spice it up, I'll do a knockout for Dos Santos in round 3. But Alex, what do you got here on this first lovely fight of the night?
I did a good amount of tape on this fight, and I was feeling Latita.
Okay.
Talita, my bad. What did I say?
Latita? Hey, Toledo.
Talita, bro. She is good in the BJJ. She's a BJJ world class champion, bro. I like her. I think she's got all the edge in the grappling, the wrestling, the BJJ. Absolutely, she might have a gas tank problem here. After that embarrassing, you got to think you go on Contender Series and you embarrass yourself like that. I'm telling you, she's gonna come back and she's gonna show some gas. She's gonna have that little chip on her shoulder. I don't think I did not see enough from Rayanne, from Dos Santos in the grappling. There's not enough tape on her in the grappling, in my opinion. I think anything, if this hits the ground at all, Toledo's getting a finish. It's going to be over and done with, sealed. But I do agree with Jared. Anything past the first round, you got to throw the whole strategy out the window. But, I'm willing to go with the dog here. I do like Toledo. I think she's marketable, and I think she's very, very underrated in the grappling.
Man, she's not underrated. I mean, she's people are acknowledging how. I mean, this girl. If you look through her fucking accolades in BJJ, she's up there with the best, including the men. And like where she stands, she's incredible. And I mean, IBJJ championships out the ass, man.
And when I watch tape, she's always wrestling and overpowering the bigger girl. I've seen her wrestle a lot of bigger girls. So, I'd want to go with the older woman, even though she's had less MMA experience. I guarantee you that Toledo has had more ground game experience, and that's the side that I would want to trust in this because I see it going to the ground.
Sure. Yeah, it'll be interesting if you're on the side of Alencar, you want her to shoot in the first 2 seconds. But Jared, where are you at on this one, man?
Yeah, weird fight. Didn't do a ton of tape. Going with the recency of Alencar's last fight, that's not something I see myself getting behind. I look at Dos Santos' loss to Denise Gomes. She lost, but Denise Gomes has kind of proven to be a pretty decent fighter in the UFC. She's here to stay. After that, she, crushed 3 cans in a row, and here she is. I think it's a weird fight. It's a close fight. She's the rightful favorite. I'm going to side with her and hope she stays off the mat.
I do agree with that though, because her being the favorite. Because when I was watching this, I was like, "Why isn't Toledo the favorite?" It's like they're baiting me to want to bet on this girl. So that was a little bit of a red flag, which isn't why I'm super confident on this. But her being the favorite is a red flag for me.
And dude, Alex, for you to pick an underdog in a fight like this, no one's gonna fucking call you crazy, dude. I mean, this is low level women's MMA as far as the UFC goes, and we see how often underdogs win there. So you might have, I mean, this might be a sharp pick. So can't hate on it, dude. But yeah, so it looks like Jared and myself are on the side of Dos Santos, and Alex right on Alencar right now, right off the bat. Alex, I'll let you lead this one, dude. Tatsuro Taira versus Carlos Hernandez. Interesting fight. What do you got?
Back to the well. Nothing new here. Going right back to the well. Tyra's just gonna manhandle him. Tyra's gonna manhandle him. I think he can stay alive on the feet. I think he can hold his own on the feet against Carlos. But I just think eventually Carlos is gonna get taken to the ground. He's gonna get subbed. He's gonna get manhandled. Tyra by finish, by however he wants. It's going to be an unpredictable fight because Tyra's going to be able to do exactly whatever he wants. If his odds are good by decision, he could carry him to a decision and cash out. So I'm not going to be getting too greedy on trying to bet a prop here, but that Tyra money line, baby, putting it in that's my anchor.
Oh man, I hope that you weren't going to say that. I'll give my thoughts here in a second, but Jared, what do you got?
So I have a list of people that I'm waiting to fade that I think are overrated. Tyra is one of those people. Unfortunately, I don't think this is the matchup yet. He keeps getting favorable matchups. I really like Carlos Hernandez. I think he's tough. I think he's really gritty. But the issue with him is he's been submitted by lesser opponents. You know, Tyra's grappling is high level. Unfortunately, it's a really, really bad matchup for Hernandez. Probably not much to talk about here. I'm going to say Tyra by sub.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
all right. Drop the balance.
Dude, I agree with what you both are saying right now. This is a fucking tailor-made matchup for Tyra. But my thing is, you know, it's interesting when you say, Alex, that he can do it any way that he wants. Tyra's striking is horrible.
Yeah, but
Horrible.
ground and pound, that ground and pound can get it done, baby.
It can, but I mean, when do you see him really like just teeing off on people on the ground?
And you know what it is? He cuts more weight. We both know Tyra's going to be naturally the bigger guy. He's going to be the weight bully here. So you got to give him the natural power advantage even on the feet.
I can't do that, man. I just can't do it because for me, Hernandez is the meaner dude. Tyra is a martial artist. Hernandez is a fighter, right? This is the way that I saw like Sean Strickland as a fighter.
It's hard to look mean when you're giving downward elbows and Herb Dean is getting mad at you. Like that whole scenario just makes you look a little bit soft. But don't judge him by that one.
Or the bowl cut. He doesn't have the bowl cut here, but usually he's got a sick.
I had the bowl cut growing up,
looking like Lloyd Christmas and shit.
Yes, lock it up.
Okay, well, no, I will say I agree with you guys. I'm going with Tyra, but I don't like it. These odds are disgusting. I wouldn't hate somebody taking a round one Hernandez KO, dude, because he can do it. We saw Tyra get chinned against Chirez. We saw that, so that's why I'm saying, man. I don't know, seeing how he fought Chirez, and then Chirez go to a draw with Lacerda, right? Didn't he go to a draw with Lacerda the last time they fought? So I don't know, man.
Contest. It's no contest.
Well, they contested, and then
Tyra won that fight though. Remember, it was like a weird situation.
Chirez actually won.
No, he should have won. I mean,
Didn't they fight again? Didn't they actually fight at like Mexican Independence Day? Oh, it got canceled. Of course it did. Okay. I thought for some reason that they fought on some other, I don't know. It was after Mexican Independence Day.
We lucked out on that because we had Daniel Santos in that.
I still think that Daniel Santos can win, man. Like they just need to he needs to figure it out. He needs to slow down after losing 5 fucking times. He got to change up something. He's so talented, man. So I don't know, but yeah. So we're all on the side of Tyra. No surprise, but man, I'm not as confident as at least Alex is. Jared, I don't know where your confidence stands.
Gotta be the most confident.
Not very high. I mean, Carlos Hernandez is the better guy on the feet. I'm not gonna say Tyra is. I think he's one dimensional. Like I said, I think he's overrated. He just keeps getting fed these favorable matchups, and I just cannot wait to fade him.
Yeah.
Once he gets in the top 15, we'll get that matchup that we'll know.
Yeah, there's gonna be a time to come. Alex, what were you trying to say right there, man?
Did one of the fights get canceled?
I mean, several have, just because this was supposed to be in China.
Daniel Marcos and Carlos Vera got canceled. Oh, that was my.
That
was my hot take.
Were you gonna have Vera?
Yeah, I was gonna take a shot on Vera.
Okay. I wouldn't have hated it. I mean, Marcos looked weird last time.
He was training at SGP. He's not even that bad on the feet. I think he was gonna. I believed he was going to come in with a wrestling game plan and get it done.
Okay, well, I don't hate it. I mean, I'm
Oh,
always
I
down
did
for
so much
dog hunting.
research on that just to get it thrown out the drain. They better find Carlos Vera look like a last minute matchup for me.
And fuck yeah. All right, well, here we go. We'll move to round 3. Jared, this is going to be yours. You get to take the hottie. This is one of the hottest girls in the UFC. I don't care what anyone says. Luana Santos. Big fan of her work, not necessarily her fighting, just how she looks. I love Latinas. Okay, I love Latinas. But we got Stephanie Egger versus Luana Santos. Jared, take it away. Who you got in this matchup?
Well, we're looking at 2 judo black belts here. Um, though in Luana Santos's debut, we didn't really get to see much of that. She fought Juliana Miller, and
Who's a killer, by the way.
do you mean that?
Her nickname's Killer.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. I completely. I think she is the biggest flop in tough history.
Dude, I know that we haven't known each other that long, Jared, but you got to give me more respect than that. I mean, dude, Juliana Miller sucks.
Oh my god, dude! I was like, are you serious?
No, you know what though, man? I was really partial to her in her first actual UFC fight against Hardy
Yeah,
because
I got burnt on that too.
well, I bet on her and I
Yep.
parlayed her with Jeff Neal, with Spivak, with Muhammad Usman, and with Jamal Hill, all 5 of the main card that night. And I hit. It was like what got me into betting was like I threw the first time ever. It's the story of everyone betting, right?
Wow.
$5 and I got like 195 off of that. Now I'm addicted to betting. So, you know, I was on Miller, but not anymore.
And caught the bug. He caught the bug.
Yeah, dude. When you turn 5 and almost 200, yeah, that'll do it. But sorry, Jared, continue.
Yeah. So back to that Miller fight. Miller sucks, but the only thing she brings is pressure. But she doesn't know what to do with it. She just knows how to move towards the opponent. Santos matched that energy, and I'd love to say, she did good work, but I mean, she really was kind of flailing her arms, just throwing wild hooks against a lesser opponent like Miller. You're going to get away with that. I don't, the higher she goes, I do think the ceiling could be high for her, but the higher she goes, she's going to have to polish it up a bit. She's really early on in her career, so I think, that's some stuff she can work on.
Yeah.
As far as Stephanie Egger, I think she's better than her record shows. It's just on the feet, she can't string any combinations together. She's always one shot at a time, trying to get into a clinch and just get it on the ground. She's got good judo. So does Santos. She's probably better at jujitsu. Give the edge to Santos on the feet. It's another weird fight. I'm going to side with Santos, but I don't love it.
Okay. Interesting. I thought for sure you were going to go with Egger here. I'm on the other side. And I'll explain why. I think Luana Santos, people are riding high on her because of a win in the UFC. And we mentioned it's against, just someone that's definitely going to be a double champion, right? Miller's going to be a double champ. And, so Luana does beat her, but Stephanie Egger comes in and she beats Eileen Perez, who she's decent, man. We're talking about her last 2 fights here because Mayra Bueno Silva fighting for the belt, dude. Okay. She's fighting for the belt against Raquel Pennington, if I'm not mistaken. Stephanie Egger's got the better level of competition. In her last 2 fights, she goes out, and of course, my computer's fucking freezing again. Irina Alekseeva, the Russian Ronda, she goes out and gets this fluke submission loss, man. That was such a fluke how that happened. We know that Irina Alekseeva is not great, so a lot of people are going to be low on Egger right now. I think that you're able to get Egger at a huge discount. I think that this should be closer to a pick'em. Again, both high level judo female fighters, judoka, right? Dude, give me Egger all day, man. And I think Egger gets it by decision. I think that there could be some kind of weirdness going on, but yeah, give it just to play it safe. Give me Egger by decision. Alex, what you got?
What's the weight at?
What's the weight at? I think this is at bantamweight, right? Let's check.
Yeah.
Bantam.
It feels like
135.
trying to build up Luana off of Edgar because I agreed with you right when I saw this. I said the line really should be a little bit closer. I mean, if anything, I do like, if I'm gonna bet anything on this fight, I'm gonna bet the over 2.5. I think it's almost a lock to go to a decision.
For minus 500.
In that case, I don't want to have nothing to do with the fight, and I'm probably gonna want to be on the underdog side, and
Right.
the case going to a decision. But then they're gonna give it to the marketable fighter, the one that they're gonna try to promote in any case that it's close. I do think Edgar has fought way better competition. And when she loses, it is fluky. I mean, Myra and Irene, when she loses, it's bad.
Right.
But anything close, she's been digging it out. It's just one of those fights that I'd stay away. It's hard to find an edge. I'm definitely going to be pounding that over. But, gun to my head, I guess I'd take the value side and take a shot. Anything close, you want to be on a dog side. It's just, it just feels political. And my political bias is telling me that they want Luana to win, the younger girl. But Jared's told me this before in the past. When someone's late in their career, like Edgar's late in her career, she's not going to be like a 40-year-old contender.
Right.
So the UFC likes to keep these older vets up, give them their shot while they have the chance and have the youth, or the last few years that they have. So the UFC likes to milk them a little bit. And I could see that scheme with Edgar. She's almost there. She's kind of like the gatekeeper status right now. And
in a very shallow division. Right.
Which should make you worry too, that they want to fill it up and they want people to get up there. It's just probably a stay away from me, to be honest, but
wise move.
Definitely going to be taken over, and that's what I advise everyone else.
Gun ahead, who are you going with in a pick?
I'm going to go with Edgar. I'm reluctant, but I'm going to go with Edgar because I think the odds are off. I'll take that extra, $65 off of 100. But it feels like the bookies want to take you that. That's why whenever they be offering lines that don't match up, it's usually a trap.
Yeah. Yeah, the age difference I'm just noticing right now is massive. 23 to 35. That's when it gets a little scary, man. Again, this is one to stay away from, realistically. Everything in my body is telling me Edgar, but I mean, maybe Jared's on the right side here with Santos. So
weird fight. Clear, I am not betting this fight. Okay. If I'm betting this fight, I'm betting Edgar last minute.
Okay. Or maybe like just some kind of weird strike line or something like that, right? Who led that last one? It was Jared, because I let you have my one of my hot Latinas here. I'll take this one. We got Steve Garcia rescheduled from last week. And this is one that I was really excited to talk with Harry about if he was on, because he was really high on Garcia. This was one of his locks, essentially. Steve Garcia versus Milk Costa. And Garcia had to pull out because of a health concern of some kind. I wish this fight would have gone, because I was on Costa. Everyone was on Costa, but for some reason, Harry was seeing something in Garcia. Now, Garcia being the bigger dude, Garcia having to cut weight twice, doubling down on Costa, man. I don't think that this needs to be overthought. Give me Costa. Give me knockout for sure for Costa.
What makes you think only Garcia cut, though? Costa probably had a cut, too.
Yeah, they both have to cut weight, but Garcia is the bigger dude, and he's had trouble with weight in the past, and he also had a health issue this last week.
Any details on the health issue?
I don't know what the health issue was. I just heard a few different. I know, because it could be bullshit, right? Let me see here what they say, if they show anything about reasoning. I just know that they only show one here on for the weight miss, but he's had several weight issues, man. Like,
no, if you click on canceled bout, it should show you.
Oh, at the bottom here. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So yeah, let's see if it shows. They'll probably say it was rescheduled. But
no. It'll say illness.
Yeah, Garcia illness.
They don't specify.
No specific thing here, but yes, I'm doubling down on Costa. Alex, what do you think on Garcia Costa? You sticking with Costa like last time?
I mean, this makes me even more scared, because it's a kind of a little bit of propaganda. You don't know if the UFC's lying. I feel like the UFC lies about a lot of these fights that get rescheduled a week after. I feel like it's because they need the slot filled.
Sure.
And they need, you know what I mean? With that deal with ESPN, they have a mandatory amount of fights that they have to do every week, which is why I think we'd be seeing more cancellations, more fights rebooked on short notice all the time. And, you know, I would have thought the line would have shifted too. The line's still where it's at after Garcia was missed that fight off an illness. You would have thought more action would come in on Costa. So that's another red flag for me. It's kind of the line not moving makes me feel like the Costa bet is a trap because they're like, hey, man, he's sick. The guy was sick. He didn't want to fight last week. Bet Costa. You know, I will stick with Costa, but another one I'm not running to the sports book to bet. But I will tell you one thing. I did have a bet on this before. And damn, I'm going with all the over-unders this week. I like the under 2.5. Last time I looked, it was minus 175. And I thought that was way too low. I thought that line should have been minus 250. The no distance is minus 250. So I'm going to shave that extra 2.5 minutes, take the under 2.5, and we'll let it ride.
I like it. Okay.
Jared, what you got?
Yeah, no different from last week. I'm on Costa. I think it's probably going to go over just because of Garcia's toughness. But yeah, not the only thing that's changed is I've gotten a little more confidence in Costa because of the Garcia pullout last week. So
Okay.
Yeah, Costa by decision.
I get it, dude. I mean, that's exactly where I'm at. Alex, this next one is yours. Hyung Sung Park versus Shannon Ross, the baddest fighter out of Australia or wherever the fuck he's from. Shannon Ross, man, in my opinion, not UFC caliber, but what do you got on this one, Alex?
Just because this fight should be in, another country called China, I'm gonna have a little bias towards the Asian fighter in this card. Political bias. Because if this card was in China, I guarantee you a lot more people would be betting the Asians, and the Asians would be more likely to win. They're trying to build that market out of there.
Yeah.
And whenever they're trying to build a market, we've already noticed with the trend this year, every hometown event has hometowners winning. Every single one. Australia card, the British card, every card has more often than not, more than 50% of the hometowners or the ones repping the region or the geography, they win. And that is strategic. The UFC does that. That's a huge target that I've been targeting ever since I started betting MMA. It's just, who do the UFC want to win? Ride that, because they will set them up for success. Yeah, sometimes they're going to shit the bed. Sometimes the UFC is going to invest into a rotten egg. But almost all the Asians this week, I'm going to be riding a lot. I got Asian sensation this week.
Hey, you got yellow fever. Dude, I think to prove your point before Jared gives his picks, even the Mexico card that was in Las Vegas, all the Mexicans won, dude. Every single Mexican won. And that was in Vegas. It was just Mexican independence.
Been having a rough year.
Yeah.
All been losing this year. That was the only card they were having success on.
Well, and Canadians, man, I fade Canadian MMA, and when they went to Canada, it was a Canadian sweep. So yeah, you're right, dude. And it's telegraphed, but I mean, we don't need to overcomplicate this. Jared, what do you think here, man?
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree, even with the marketing standpoint and the X's and O's. I mean, I think Shannon Ross, this is probably it. This is probably the end of the road for him in the UFC. Just watching the tape, I mean, it really is a clear mismatch. I think Park knocks him out early.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty clear cut on this one.
How many knockout wins does Park have? Because getting knocked out by Jesus Aguilar. So only 3, but he's only got a total of 8 professional fights. His first fight in the UFC was a submission, which is interesting. Submission victory. But he's undefeated. This is another one of these kids that the UFC definitely wants to build. Does he train out of? Okay, no, I was wondering if he trains out of that zombie MMA gym, but dude, Shannon Ross getting knocked out by Jesus Aguilar in like 12 seconds or whatever it was. Jesus Aguilar is 4 feet tall and he's a grappler, and he knocked out Shannon Ross with just a mean overhand right. And I had Jesus that night because I actually really like the dude, but I think Aguilar has a tough time winning a lot of fights in the UFC, but Shannon Ross, I mean, that was a layup for him. So, yeah, man. And I think that was actually on the, was that on the Mexican Independence Day card as well? No, it was in Australia. So, I mean, they were kind of teeing up Shannon Ross to win that, right? That goes against our theory that we just talked about, but I think it stands still. So we're all on Park, kind of an easy one there.
The secondary pick for that, the bookies see that fight not going the distance, -500.
Yeah.
I gotta agree with them. So if you are worried that because Shannon Ross comes out hard, he comes out swinging. That man can swing hard. He probably knock out anyone in that division. He scares me too, and that's why I've definitely lost a bet on him in the past. Turkish Delight. He's got one of the coolest nicknames in the UFC. The Turkish Delight, dude. Like, come on, like
Turkish Delight, but he's out of Australia.
I mean, like
Something's
that's
not
one of
adding
the
up.
best candies you'll ever have in your life, bro. Like you need to start showing up and fulfilling that nickname and being good. So I mean,
Yeah.
at his odds though, right now, his odd I don't know what these odds are showing. He ain't Park isn't -220 anymore.
Yeah, he's gonna be, I would imagine, -400.
No, he's -600,
Okay.
-650, -500 at some books.
So he's
That's
unbettable.
outrageous. That's outrageous. We get into outrageous land.
But knockout first round for Park, I think, is probably going
Honestly,
to still be worth
yeah,
it.
under 1.5, under 2.5, under 1.5 -200.
Okay.
Uncommon parlay piece, but I'll go with Park. But that line is scary, man. That line changed. That's a big change. -220 to -600. You better hope it ain't a close fight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be scary if it gets close. Now, Jared, you can take this one here, man. This is this is an interesting one, man. Kanan Song versus Kevin Jusay.
Yeah,
Weird.
so yeah, definitely a weird one. Jusei's debut, that was a really fun fight. I mean, that was really entertaining. I mean, did some good work, faced some adversity, ended up getting the finish. I mean, it was a fun debut. I believe Crosby was also, yeah, he was also debuting. Um, I don't think, I mean, I don't understand why the odds are so close here. You know, you'd think it'd be a stepping stone type of thing, but Keenan Song, he's tough, man. He has 3 losses in the UFC. They're to Ian Gary, Max Griffin, Alex Morono. Um, I ask myself, do I put Juicehead in the same category as those 3 guys? I really don't. So at dog odds, I don't think I'm good enough to not bet Song here.
Okay. I get it. I get it. Do you have any kind of method that you're leaning towards Song with?
Um, I think he could just probably. I think he could get him out of there late, but I would probably lean more towards a decision victory.
Okay. I like it. I am on the side. I'm trying to do like I'm to keep this even. I'm like going in order of like how I see our faces here. So I know, Alex, you mentioned that you're leaning towards all the Asian fighters. This was supposed to be in Shanghai. Just so happens Kanan Song's got a Chinese flag next to his name. I
You
think that
already know the pick, then.
I know the pick, but I want to hear your reasoning. But I gotta say,
Oh, this
man,
one I'm confident because I'm a little biased though. I bet on him in his last fight against Bedoya +300. Horrible
okay.
card for me, but he was one of my few winning picks on the card, and I was very happy about it. It was on that super early morning card, and
Oh yeah, 3 in the morning or whatever it was.
yeah, it was like 5 a.m. start, and I was very happy with his performance. Close fight, but against a high volume guy like Bedoya just didn't show up that day, and his volume was lower than expected. I was happy. I think he's got underrated power. We saw what he did to Ian Gary too. I think he's live for a knockout here. I wouldn't be getting greedy with method on the
Okay.
underdog. Um, he's durable too. He's pretty durable. I'd be willing to lean a finish only bet, but I love his money line here. Only way he loses, in my opinion, he gets a little wet blanketed. He gets taken down. I guess he could get submitted, but I see him having multiple paths to victory. If Kevin doesn't get him down, he's not gonna win. I just don't see him being able to hang with Khan. He could probably keep it competitive on the feet, but I think eventually Kanan's gonna hit him with some power. I trust Khan, and he's getting better too. He's getting a little humble. He's gaining a little bit more experience. Who's fought the better guys? I mean, he fought one of the top dogs of the UFC right now that no one can keep their name out of his name out of their mouth right now.
Yeah.
Being
Yeah.
Gary.
I mean, yeah, it's mostly because of his wife, right? But
in that fight too, before he kibbied out. I think he might have a gas tank problem. That's why it's not like a heavy pick that I'm gonna go bet a couple thousand on. But I'm willing to drop a couple hundred on Song money line. Only worried about his cardio. I'm worried about him not being able to get up off his back. But other than that, he should be able to get this done. Outpoint him, knock him out. I feel confident. Anything close, they're going to Song too. Anything close.
well, remember they are in Vegas. They're not in China. So
Yeah, but the card was meant to be in China. So all the matchmaking, all the politics has already been set. Maybe they're missing out on a couple judges, but the matchups have been set, and that's what matters. You know,
sure.
but you're right. We might be missing out on judges.
For me, man, you mentioned the gas tank issue. I think it's also a fight IQ issue. That's my thing with Song. I'm gonna go against you guys. I'm gonna go with Giuseppe. He trains at a city kickboxing. You mentioned that Giuseppe's got to get it to the ground. I think he can absolutely hang with Song on the feet. I know Israel Adesanya is kind of fading out into the darkness or whatever we want to say. And city kickboxing needs somebody new. Eugene Behrman's a great coach. Say what you want to about like Kai Car France, who I don't really like. What's that?
They got Elberg.
They got Oldberg, but I mean he's I don't know, he's just straight power. There's no serious technique there, in my opinion.
Man, he's bringing in a new market.
Australia?
Nah, females.
Oh, yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. That's why I think the Ronda Rousey fucking Misha Tate fight's coming back because they want to get the females.
Yeah, but that doesn't get females watching.
I think it does, man. A lot of women idolize.
Female fights get men watching.
Maybe. But he doesn't even go by Ladies Night anymore. That was his nickname before. It was Ladies Night, and it's not Ladies Night no more. So I don't even think he cares about that shit. I don't know. That's just my theory. But no, I'm going to go with Giuseppe. He's the bigger guy. I think he's actually the more powerful dude too. I think he's a favorite here for a reason, and I don't understand for the life of me why he would why this matchup would be placed if they were just trying to lay up the Chinese fighter for something seriously easy. I mean, this isn't an easy fight, no matter which way you break it down. Now, of course, I could say this, and then Song goes out there and gets a 30-second knockout, but I just don't see that happening, man. Give me Giuseppe, give me a knockout, because Song has shown that he's chinny. Ian Gary does have power, but I mean, you shouldn't be able to rock someone that bad like he did to Ian Gary and then lose, man. That reminds me of like Semmelsberger, right? Who has horrible fight IQ. Just goes out there and hurts people and then gets finished. That's not how it's supposed to work. So, or Turman, another person that just did that recently. So yeah, give me knockout round 1 or 2, man. I think that it's going to happen pretty quick. Let's see. I think Alex, you're starting this one. I think
you're right on the last one. That means that audience was going to be very sour, and that means this one was going to be the palate cleanser. And I think Park's the only way you can go here.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, like I said, it makes sense.
You know what? It worries me, though, because the line seems too good to be true. I'd cap him at like minus 250, 200. He's minus 170. I see this being a stand-up fight, and I see him working it.
You talking about this Park or the next one?
I'm talking about the next fight.
Oh, okay. So Andre Muniz versus Jung Young Park. Okay. So you're going with Park pretty easy.
Yeah, but the line scares me. The line is super scary. It seems off in the wrong direction, and it seems like a trap, but I like it. It's better than what it was. It was minus 220 on there. It's minus 180 right now. So it's coming down. All the early money coming on Muniz. I'm worried about it. I'm overly confident on the turtle.
Yeah, the Iron Turtles. He's underrated, man. A lot of people kind of sleep on this dude. Jared, what are your thoughts on the Iron Turtle versus? We'll just go Muniz. I was trying to read his nickname. I don't know what the fuck that is. What do you got here, man?
I am 100% on the Iron Turtle. He's got the momentum. I think the only place he's not better than Muniz is jiu-jitsu. I think he's a better wrestler. I think he's a better striker. I just I see more ways to win for Park. And with Muniz, it's just like, dude, who like if his past two fights didn't happen, this would probably be a little bit different of a conversation right now. Brendan Allen, I can kind of, I can give you a pass on that. But who the fuck gets knocked out by Paul Craig? It was just such a bad look. It's just I can't get behind that. I I love Park in this spot. I saw the line on DraftKings earlier today. I think it was like minus 170 or minus 180. And to Alex's point, that shit felt too good to be true. So got me a little worried, but just looking at the X's and O's and how I see the fight going, I think it's all Park. Let's go Iron Turtle.
But how
Interesting.
does Muniz win? If Muniz is gonna win, how does
Submission.
so he's gotta wrestle, he's gotta get a takedown.
Or, I mean, off his back, he pulls
Yeah,
something.
he can get a throw up a triangle or something. He's the better jiu-jitsu player, and I think that's the only place he's better. I think Muniz is a guy that he kind of had a great transition of jiu-jitsu to MMA, and where it really worked out for him in MMA. But once you reach a certain point, you need to have the full package. And I don't think he's anything more than a jiu-jitsu guy. And I think the way he went out against Paul Craig really solidified that. A guy that, in part, not that Park's a slouch on the ground. He's got good jiu-jitsu too. It's not on Muniz's level. He's the better wrestler. He's the better striker. How do I not side with him here? He's got the momentum. It's Iron Turtle time.
Yeah, man. I've been fading the Iron Turtle ever since I've known who he was, ever since I've been watching fights with him. And there's just something about him, man. I still can't ride with him here, man. I still can't. Like,
Dude, I was doing that too. It's a bias because you look at him. He's got that face you just want to bet against.
It has
All
to be
right?
the face-offs that make you want to bet against him.
No, because he does like
face
stupid
to
stuff like I'm gonna throw the peace sign. I'm
like
gonna
Hello
look all
Kitty shit.
awkward. Yeah, I get where you're coming from. He looks like a jabroni. I get where you're coming from. He looks like he plays with ponies in his off time.
He wears diapers and he has a mommy fetish, is what this dude has, dude.
Yeah.
I think he's just autistic, and it's hard to tell with Koreans. And he plays the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and that's where he got the nickname from.
It's possible, honestly, man. Hey, he's a good fighter. I'm not trying to take nothing away from him, but again, this is, I think, a recency bias spot. Iron Turtle's coming in on a 4-fight win streak against some decent dudes. Andre Muniz, like it or not, he's fighting the much higher level of competition. Paul Craig, higher level of competition than anyone that Park has faced, man. Albert Duraev, not better than Paul Craig. Dennis Talulin, I mean, dude, Dennis Talulin's horrible, right? Like one of the worst in this division. Joseph Holmes, I mean, he's not even in the UFC anymore. And I always fade the mustache. Anytime someone has that curly mustache, fade them because they try to be a fake tough guy. They try to represent those old, like, bare knuckle fighters of the old days. Eric Anders, not great either. Andre Muniz,
Eric Anders would beat the shit out of Paul Craig, I think.
You think so?
Yeah, personally.
Yeah, maybe I hold
we're doing MMA math here. I just try to see the way the fight's going to go between these two guys. I mean, how do you see Muniz getting it done?
So I don't think he even needs to get a submission. I see something weird could happen here, man. Like, as crazy as it sounds, it's possible a knockout type thing happens because Park doesn't want to go to the ground with this dude. Why would Park want to go to the ground with Muniz? Muniz knows this.
He's not gonna. So, okay, continue.
I just think that a knockout could happen, man. It sounds stupid. I know that it sounds stupid, but I think something weird could happen in this fight for sure. Let me see how many knockouts Muniz has real quick. And I mean, he doesn't look like the most, physically imposing dude. He's got 4 knockouts. I don't know if any of these come in the UFC. All submissions in the UFC, right? So he's knocking out lower levels of competition. But I think the Iron Turtle is a lower level of competition, man. I'm not going to officially say knockout, but dude, I think that Muniz gets it done, man. I honestly do. He could do it by decision. I think that the least likely way that he could win would be by submission, because Park's smart. He's not, for his the lack of physical ability that Park has. for the lack of power that Park has. One thing that he does have is fight IQ, dude. He's very smart. He's not going to fucking go to the ground. If we're talking about the floor being lava with that chick fight earlier, the floor is lava for Park. So this is going to remain standing. And I think that I think Muniz knows that as well. I think that it could be a knockout, man. So give me Muniz.
Muniz has some of the lowest volume on the feet.
I know, man.
Like, throw up his stats, like UFC stat. Throw up his stats. He's probably got 1.2 strikes per minute. He is one of the lowest outputting fighters. Like he's impossible to trust on the feet.
I know how it sounds.
Got a lot better than I
striking
thought
accuracy.
A lot better than I thought he did.
And let's pull up the Iron Turtle. Let me see.
Iron Turtle's pretty low volume too, but it's just I trusted him. I trust him on the feet a lot more than Muniz. Just volume wise, he's gonna be winning. It's a good bet because I think
look at that.
Yeah, I think it's a good bet because every second that goes by and this fight's continuing and on the feet, I think Jung Park's live line's going to keep going through the roof. And then that's just an easier way to arbitrage out later during the fight. If you're worried in the third round, he looks a little tired because that's the only way I think he's going to lose is he gets tired.
He won't get tired before Muniz does. He's got a better gas tank.
Yeah, but they always say that. We always say that. Me and Jared always the kings of saying this. Remember when whenever it goes mainstream and everyone's talking about someone having a gas tank problem, they come back and the gas tank's brilliant now. It's like the only thing they were working on.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The bike 24/7.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be worried too much about Muniz's cardio here. You get embarrassed twice in a row on these main event cards. Your coaches, the whole world's telling you what to do. Yeah. So
I realize it's a goofy sounding bet, and I'm
like I said, we might be on to something with that knockout because I in my opinion, I think Andre Muniz is the only thing he's gonna be working on is cardio and boxing. It's the only thing I would be focusing on.
Well, yeah, why the fuck would he need to work on his ground game? He doesn't need to do that. You know what I mean? That's the last thing the dude needs to work on. And, all that Park's trying to do is work on takedown defense. He might not even be focusing that much on offense. He's probably just trying to make sure that, hey, this does not go to the ground. That's what he's focusing on right now. That's my thought. I could look stupid as shit. This could end in 30 seconds based off of Muniz's last two performances, but he's the bigger man. They're only a year age difference with the year. Almost exactly a year age difference with Park being favored by 1 year. He's got the reach. If Muniz can just string together some, sixth grade level striking, he could have a serious chance at doing decent here, man. And he was supposed to be a prospect before he started shitting the bed. So, yeah, give me Muniz. I get why you guys are on Park, though. Nick, if Nick was here, he'd be on Park, too. He's a big Iron Turtle fan. I will take Kelvin Gastelum right here, Nasrat Haqparast versus Jamie Malarkey. These two are twins, dude. Look at this guy. We got Nasrat Haqparast versus Jamie Malarkey, who looks like he crawled out of a drain or something. This dude's wild looking. Jamie Malarkey, underrated dude. He's chinny as all hell. I think that I really don't think that he should have won against McDessie here. This was in Australia, right? And I'm big in MMA.
Aubrey.
Yeah, dude. But hey, I had him in a parlay, a big parlay. I was doing this thing called the UFC ladder where you take money from last week that you won from a parlay. And like, say you take $40 and off that $40, you win $250. You take the $250, you put that into a parlay. I had a $250 parlay with fucking Malarkey in it. And I was sweating, dude. I got up and I was drinking. I was like, this fucking dude lost it. And he wins. And I'm like, fuck yes, dude. I have no idea how he got that. But karma's coming back to him here. Yes, he's an underdog. Nasrat Haqparast is not as dangerous as we used to think that he was. I believe he's the shorter dude. Yeah, 2 inches, not too much, but I think this is a bounce back spot. Not that Nasrat Haqparast has been like losing. Obviously, he's on a 2-fight win streak, decent, but I think he gets a finish here against Malarkey. I think he chins him, man. Like I said, Malarkey's very chinny. Give me Nasrat by knockout round 2. Let's go. Jared, what you got, dude?
Yeah, so I lost on Kelvin Gastelum last week, and I'm hoping I don't lose on him again this week because I'm taking the Afghani Kelvin Gastelum. I also think he's going to get a knockout. If he doesn't get the knockout, he's going to get knocked out. Um, I don't know. It kind of feels like punching bag on punching bag action, but Malarkey's more of a punching bag. I think Nazareth has a higher ceiling. Um, I mean, struggling as much as Malarkey struggled against Makdessi and got gifted that decision because they were in Australia, hard to get behind a guy after that visual, an older guy. And Matt, it just, that shouldn't have been a close fight. I think that fight was kind of made for him to win, and he didn't perform.
Yeah.
I had high hopes for him when he first came to the UFC, but as much knockout power as he has the ability to get knocked out. Man, he is chinny. I'm gonna have to side with Nasr out here, probably to get a knockout. And yeah, I'd agree with you. Round two, I give him a round. Give him
Yeah,
a
beat
round
each other up a little bit, soften each other
nice
up, and then
sloppy for a round.
yeah, exactly, dude. That's where I'm at. Alex, I'm gonna step away for a second. What do you got here for this one?
You guys are telling me to take the under here, huh? Under 2.5 at plus 180. That's pretty juicy.
Sounds
Because
like
the second I saw this fight, I love the trust they both of their durability here. I like they both have good IQ. Definitely a fight I would want to stay away from. Nazareth at like minus 200. It's a little bit high. I think it's more of like minus 150 range. I like Nazareth in this matchup. It's just I think it's going to a decision, and I think it could be kind of close. I'm trying to avoid those spots. I hate those spots now. They're gut wrenching, especially when you hear this judge has it
29-28.
and now this judge has it 30-27. And it's just like it's like a lottery ticket at this point, and I don't want to bet on goddamn lottery tickets anymore.
Have you noticed though, Alex, because you're in a conspiracies just as much as I am, have you noticed that when you know how they have the split screen and you can see some of Bruce Buffer's suit? Bruce Buffer's probably not going to be here, but especially when it's Bruce Buffer. If Bruce Buffer is more in the side of whichever fighter, that fighter wins, dude. And I've paid it.
I gotta start looking for that now.
It's mostly with
No,
Buffer.
no. Who was the celebrity that was sitting behind the red corner last week?
There was
week?
Bill Burr. A few weeks ago, we had Bill Burr.
Last
Yeah,
week was in the
Burr was
Apex, right?
there. He was behind.
Joe Rogan last week.
Joe Rogan was there in the crowd last week, not commentating, and
Oh, in Austin. Okay.
and he was behind Misha Tate, and he's famous for looking at that ass and getting caught looking at it. And I immediately knew Misha Tate was gonna win. Like I just felt it. I was like, oh my god, that's a sign. He didn't get this seat to check out that ass and be another meme just to have Misha Tate lose.
You should have listened to me, dude. I told you. I laid out the game plan for you right now.
It was the same thing as the Brundage thing. The whole card, they're showing his whole
coach
and everything.
Yeah.
And Jared's like, I'm about to cash out my respects right now. You know what I said? I was like, I have mine in a slip. You're lucky you even have the opportunity to do that right now because I'm not even at the casino.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I felt the same way. I was like, dude, I'm feeling good about my Brundage bet right now. And I had knockout round one and I had Brundage in a separate bet. So I that was my best play of the night. And then I took like half my winnings throughout the night and I just put it on Figgy just by money line. And it turned out to be a decent night. One of the better nights I've had in a while. But yeah, dude, rough spot. So did Alex make a pick? Do you know, Jared?
I don't think he did. I know he wanted to stay away from it, but I think he was going with
I'll take Nazareth. I'm not happy about it.
See, this makes me real uncomfortable that we're all on the same side.
I'm fishy about this fight. I'm not confident. Definitely a fight I would like to stay away from.
Okay. I mean, yeah, this is the Tatsuro Taira fight, the Park fight, the first Park. No, I'm sorry. The first Park and then the Nazareth fight. We're all on the same side of. So those are spots to be wary of when we all agree. I believe I took that one first. Jared, why don't you take this dude? Tim Elliott. God, I hope he fucking wins versus Sumaderji. What do you got between these guys?
Yeah, they really threw me for a loop with this one. As soon as I finished doing all my tape and all my notes on Nascimento, I open up Instagram, and sure enough, now Nascimento's out, Elliott's in. I'm like, oh, of course.
Dude, I thought someone misspoke when I heard this earlier today. I was like, fucking
Yeah.
Tim Elliott, he fought like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think Elliott's I think he's collecting a check. I mean, back to this card was supposed to be in Shanghai. They're going towards a certain market on this card. It's another the floor is lava situation for Suma Durji. He needs to keep it on the. I like him on the feet, dude. I mean, I don't know how he lost that match Schnell fight. He somehow he found a way to lose, but I just without looking at that result and just looking at how he did leading up to that, he's ranging on the feet, man. He's sharp. Um, that Tim Elliott, awkward, weird entries. He wants to fight on the mat. I mean, it's striker versus grappler. I'm gonna take the volume of Sumadurgi to keep Elliott at bay, and Elliott collects a check, and we all go home happy. I'm gonna side with the underdog here, Sumadurgi.
You got any method decision?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with decision just off Elliott's toughness. I think we're definitely gonna end up on the ground at some point. It's not like it's gonna be a sweat-free bet. It's probably gonna be really stressful, but I think he's gonna do enough on the feet.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember when Charles Jourdain fought the washed up Gracie. I forget which Gracie that was, right? You got this
Gracie. It
Kron.
was
Yeah.
fucking butt scooting, guard pulling.
Easy money. Easy.
I mean, just
What we live for.
Claudio Puelles and him are the same person, right? I mean, with these jujitsu specialists these days, they're not cutting it, man. That's why I think that Muniz is aware enough to change his game. I don't think that Elliott's jujitsu is gonna. I mean, that Sumadershi knows jujitsu, like he knows the defensive jujitsu. So yeah, man, I'm interested what you've got here, man, because I'm gonna lead us off with this co-main, and then Alex, I'll let you take it away on the main event first.
All the eight, baby, I'm on Sumaderji to get that win, but I as much as confident as I am, if I could, there is a style of bet that I would like on Tim Elliott, and I want everyone to check this out if you can. It's usually on DraftKings. They just changed the way you can bet on this. So you used to be able to bet who would get more takedowns than the other guy. As long as they get one, your bet would cash. There's a little extra juice, but now they took that all out. Now you can only bet if a fighter gets a takedown total in the fight, 1 or 2 plus, or you can do round 1 or 2. Yep. I'd be willing to take some shots on Tim Elliott, round 1 takedown, 2 plus takedowns total. Be very willing to do that because I think he gets a couple out of there, but I wouldn't bet as much as on that as I am on Sumaderji money line because I think Sue's gonna get up, tee off.
Yeah, man, I agree with you guys, but I'm going a little farther. I'm going to get Sumaderji KO. I think he's actually going to knock out Tim Elliott, who was just doing a weight cut a month ago at 36 years old. The man's 27, 9 years younger, right? That's a massive age difference. Again, fitting in with our China narrative, even though we know they're in Vegas, can't stress that enough. But Tim Elliott making this cut this often, this is a month ago, man. That's tough to do. Before that, he fought 6 months ago. Looked decent against Makayev. Everyone kind of looks like decent against Makayev, right? Makayev is
on my list. Remember, I told you I have that list of overrated guys I'm waiting to fade. Makayev's on there.
Yeah, dude. It sounds like you and I think the same way about a lot of these prospects, Jared. Because, dude, I don't understand the hype. I actually think that there's a point to fade Gary, and it could be this weekend, man. Luque's no joke.
You guys gotta hear me out.
I was just about to bring that up too. He's also on the list.
Well, we'll talk about this a little bit at the end of this because this episode ran nice and quick. And then we might potentially be recording the next episode while I'm in Philly for work, unless we do it like Sunday or Monday, like Alex and I were talking about. What were you going to chime in there with, Alex?
I was going to say, usually all these guys on that list that you want to fade, the prospects that are usually overhyped.
Yeah, they keep fucking winning.
Because the UFC wants them to win. They're the ones that we should be paying attention to because they are the market builders.
They keep getting fed, just like Paddy Pimblett coming up against Tony Ferguson. He's on the list too. It just hasn't been the time yet. But we'll get to that. Why is Tony Ferguson only plus 200?
Oh my god.
Be careful
Just
with
saying.
that. Be
I'm just
careful
saying.
with that. Blades and
Oh,
shades.
that's iffy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's wild. I mean, I wouldn't take Tony Ferguson at plus 400. I don't think.
Dude,
But
we got a 6-fight losing streak versus 6-fight winning streak. Let's fucking go. Tony time. One more time.
yeah, Tony's the type of guy to fucking go on a 6-fight losing streak just to be, a champion again soon. But okay, so where we leave off here with this? So yeah, we were talking shit about Muhammad Mokaev, specifically I was. Jared, you're agreeing a little bit. Everybody looks decent against Mokaev. Tim Elliott looks good until he doesn't, gets choked out in the 3rd round, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, man, give me KO. Give me a KO for Sumadershi. We're all on Sumadershi. I think it's an interesting fight, a clash of styles, if you will. And dude, how are you if you're Tim Elliott? How are you going to turn down a check right before Christmas? Right before Christmas. Make your girlfriend and who's that mullet having dude that stole his check?
Kevin Kroom.
Kevin Kroom. I don't know. How do you not make them jealous, man? You're getting an extra 50K or whatever the hell you're getting. Go in there and take an L, which is something similar to what I think's going on here, man. Anthony Smith versus Khalil Roundtree. I'm not gonna beat around the bush, dude. I'll give you my pick right up front and then I'll explain. Khalil Roundtree all day long. There is no need to overthink this, in my opinion. Anthony Smith, he's 1 foot in, 1 foot out. He's keeping the facade up that he wants to be champion. I heard him say on the Believe You Me podcast the other day that he was talking about his rivalry with John Jones. This dude never had a rivalry with John Jones. I understand that he was mad at John Jones a few times and they talked shit back and forth. DC and John Jones had a rivalry. Anthony Smith, as much as I love listening to his show, he seems like such a cool dude. He's delusional, man. He's very delusional. He's coming in here for a check. He just did Thanksgiving. He missed weight in Brazil as a backup fighter when Jamal Hill and Glover Teixeira fought. The guy chokes in opportune times, it seems like. He said that he was actually going to do that 3-day water fast that Dana White did over Thanksgiving, and he didn't do that. So he chokes. And I mean, if he would have done that water fast, I might have fucking bet on Anthony Smith right now because that seems like it does like miracles for your body.
He say he didn't do it?
Yeah, he said he didn't do it. He said that they were eating on Thanksgiving. Now, maybe that's some of the facade. I don't know. But yeah, man, I think Anthony Smith chokes on opportune times. I think he's making so much money doing the analyzing. He wants to get in there and, again, make a nice check, before Christmas with his nice family. Again, I love Anthony Smith, dude. I'm not really trying to talk shit. I think he lost this fight against Ryan Spann. And I think he's got some MMA karma coming to him. Khalil Roundtree just looking nasty. I mean, just one of the nastiest fighters. I actually, as crazy as it sounds, I'd love to see a fight between Khalil Roundtree and Alex Pereira. But yeah, dude, give me Khalil Roundtree by knockout. As crazy as that sounds too, because Anthony Smith's tough as shit. Probably be a TKO. But yeah, give me TKO for Khalil Roundtree, probably around round 2 or 3. I think it's later. But I think Khalil Roundtree gets this done. The Warhorse, baby. Let's go. Alex, I'm going to have you do the main event. So, Jared, where are you at on Smith and Roundtree Jr.?
I think your Khalil by knockout pick is anything but crazy. That is 100% where I'm at. It feels like Anthony Smith, he's hanging out at the analyst desk. He's doing just fine up there. Collect a quick check before Christmas. I love Khalil, dude. He fights people like they owe him money. I think he's one of the dirtiest fighters in the UFC. Oblique kicks, kicking grounded opponents. I mean, I love it. I fucking love it. I think it really feels like Khalil's starting to enter his prime as Anthony Smith has exited his prime. I think this is Khalil I think as tough as Anthony Smith is, and as long as he's been around with 20 UFC fights, I
60
think
fights overall. I mean, over 60, right? What is that? Yeah, 60 fucking fights, man.
Yeah, and I want to say 20-ish are in the UFC. But dude's been around, man. He
20
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, you must pay attention to this stuff, Jared. There you go. 20.
He's been around, dude. He's tough, but I really think Khalil by devastating knockout. I'm gonna say round 2, maybe 3, but
Exactly what I'm saying. I get it, dude. And it might be one of those spots where it's like, Anthony, just retire, buddy. You're never gonna be champ. You couldn't
I
beat Jamal Hill.
dude, I think he has like a weird thing where he thinks he's like the main character.
Like Israel Adesanya.
Yeah,
Almost.
or like how weird like that moment he had with Johnny Walker of you're attacking my family. Like,
He's like,
I don't
what?
know.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on here? Why are you still fighting? Stay at the analyst desk, read from your page. I I just don't see it, man. I think Khalil is entering the prime and he is gonna just dust him.
Yeah, I think he gets nuked. It could be. I mean, we may be giving Smith a little bit too much credit with 2 or 3. And I feel bad. Like I said, seems like a cool fucking dude, man. I love listening to his podcast with Bisping. But I'm not in the friend business here. Alex, where are you at on this?
I've been back and forth on this one. I thought about this one for a good amount of time. Just looking at stats. I did lose betting against Khalil in his last fight on stupid Chris Dawkins. Basically betting on trend. He never wins as a favorite and only wins as an underdog. But he broke that trend last fight. Now he's looking to do it again. And I'd hate to go back to the well and bet on Anthony Smith because he's absolutely unreliable. But so isn't Khalil, to be honest. We have no idea if he's going to show up and act like he did against Pacquiao, just do low volume, have low cardio. But I'll give you this. How long ago was that Ryan? 2 months ago, he got beat up by Ryan Spann. He took a lot of damage in that fight.
Got fucked up.
He got fucked up in that fight. He takes a lot of damage. And that might be showing in the fights and why he's talking to Johnny Walker and thinking he's losing it. And that is a giant red flag. And Jared, I'm gonna agree with him because he should be on his way out. When you're screaming at someone like that, delusional in the middle of a fight, I think it's time to hang it up. You got a little bit too much CTE there, but he's live for a sub. That's how I think he could win. The bookies are giving him credit for a knockout at plus 500. I'm not, but it's just I'm a little bit biased because I just don't like Khalil. I don't like him as a person. But
You're thinking of the 2020 Khalil, though. Oh,
Yeah.
the person.
As a person, yeah.
What do you
And
do? What do you do?
so much better. I don't know. I don't like him. I don't like his interviews and stuff. I don't know. I don't know. He rubs me the wrong way. I don't know why.
Interesting. Okay.
He's kind of like Jared Cannonier is one of those guys too. You know what
Oh,
I mean?
dude, he's an Arizona guy. A guy moving from Alaska to Arizona.
But he's like one of those crystal guys.
Is he a crystal guy? That is kind of weird.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
think
into that.
crystals give him powers and stuff. I'm all good. No, I don't want to hear it.
Okay. Yeah, that is a little weird. Okay.
I
Well,
remember I bet on
Those
him one time.
lines so much better. He's gone to Thailand, so much better, and that's where he showed other
Tiger.
than the Pacquiao fight, he's shown so much improvement.
He's a Bang Tower Tiger or whatever. Jared,
So
what were you going to say?
I bet on Jared Cannonier one time, and then I thought I was gonna get him at like better odds. Like I thought if I bet it early, I would get it at a good spot before the line shifts. And so I put a bet on him. A couple days later, I listened to his interview on media day, and he's talking about fucking rocks and like feeling energy from like all these fucking rocks he has and shit. And I'm just like, dude, I really parted ways with my life with this fucking guy playing with rocks. Like,
it's a weird thing, but I mean, how many of you guys had Yuri against Pajeda?
I did.
Be honest.
I mean, I'm about to walk out the casino because I know I'm losing a decision.
Well, so how do you feel about his fucking weird shit? Because for the record, and you can go back and you can listen, I was heavy on Pereira, and I was also heavy on Sergey, so I lost that one. But I mean, dude, fucking, you want to talk about a fucking freak? Yuri sits there in a children's playground with an eye patch on, looking at circles instead of hitting boxes. So you guys don't have a problem with that kind of training, but you have a problem with crystals?
That's a great point, and I'm not even gonna humor you with giving an argument. You're 100% right. What the fuck are you bitching about?
That shit's funny, man. What were you gonna say, Alex?
That card is scarring me right now because I remember Trump came out and I'm
Oh
screaming at.
yeah.
I said, "What does that mean? What does it mean? It means someone's gonna win. What is it the sign of?" And we couldn't figure it out. And then after it happened, I said, "Colby Covington's picks were the last two, and he's Trump's guy." So as he walked out, he gave us 2 picks on Instagram, and they fucking smashed.
He picked
Obviously.
Aspinall and Perea.
Yeah, he gave out Aspinall and he gave out Perea. Make your
Damn,
bank account great again. And then we see
that's
Trump.
interesting.
Like, obviously, he's giving us winners.
Coming out with Tucker Carlson and fucking Kid Rock, right? But
Little conspiracy theory there for you.
yeah, man. I mean, that's the thing. It's tough. I didn't realize that Khalil was into that weird shit because I typically I tend to agree with you guys where it's like if these dudes are focusing on energies and crystals and manifestation instead of just hitting bags and sparring.
Well, I don't know if Khalil's like that. I was making maybe a bad.
Okay.
Well, no, apparently Khalil went to the same kind of thing that Dominic Cruz went to. Do you ever see anything about that? It's like I think it was called like the something choice program. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
No.
It's
What
like
is it? I'm gonna see if I can
it's
find it.
yeah, but yeah, look it up. Look up like Dominic Cruz like choice. It's in Vegas. It's like a choice something like leadership. It's supposed to be like some leadership program type of thing. It's like a self-help course that they went through.
Choice Center Leadership.
Choice Center Leadership, is that what it is?
Yeah. Move with Cruz. The ecstasy of winning. The mentality course.
No.
Well, no, I'm just getting all kinds of weird shit.
But type in Choice Center. Type in Choice Center Vegas.
That's got to be it.
Because I looked up some shit about it. The other
Emotional intelligence.
that,
Can you see that? Can you see my screen
yeah,
here?
yeah, no, I can see it. That might be it.
You're not seeing Tapology, right? You're seeing
No, I'm looking at what you're looking at.
This might be some weird.
I don't know.
black-
No, I don't know. I don't know if this is it. Sean
Elevate-
Strickland said some shit about
That's it.
Roundtree and Dominic Cruz being in a cult. So I like looked some shit up and it's like some weird like self-help course of like
It looks like that. I mean, this is personal coaching.
yeah, it's got,
Man, I might have to do an episode where I call these guys. They got their number up here. I do shit like that. I called my bank
do
one
you
time.
really? That's fucking hilarious.
Oh,
Well,
you
yeah,
gotta
dude.
have me on for one of those, bro.
Dude, we can do it together. We can act like,
Too.
be like, I want to be a UFC fighter, but I want to fight in the women's division. How do I do it? You know what I
Oh.
mean? Like, just figure it out. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it sounds like we're all on Roundtree here. Do you have a method, Alex?
I'm gonna go decision. I'm gonna trust that durability. Maybe a boring fight. Anthony Smith talks to him, gets a little delusional, and they just talk back and forth a little bit. Build a little script.
Dude, I think if Anthony Smith starts talking to Roundtree, he's gonna rip his jaw off. Like Jared said, he's the mean, dirty fighter. He's the dirtiest, clean fighter, right? He doesn't get points taken because everything he does is legal. But yeah, I remember seeing someone that he fought where he was on his hands and knees, and this dude just rips him to the body with a kick.
Dude, that's not the only time he's done it. There's like I'll send you a video of it later. There's like 3 or 4 examples of this guy throwing straight just body kicks like to a grounded opponent, which are legal. Like I don't know why people don't do it more. Blasting people on the ground. It's just like that's a guy that fights for your money right there,
Yeah. Yeah, in 2020, he was fighting really bad. You didn't know that was when when you hear people say you don't know what Khalil Roundtree you're gonna get. It was because of 2020, and that might have been a weird time for him, dude. That was such a fucking weird time for so many people, and especially somebody like this that's dedicated his life to MMA, and now it's possibly gonna go away. It's possible that this dude was just in a weird headspace, like so many of us were back then, man. So yeah, I'll give him a pass, and I think like I said, man, I'd love to see a Perea Roundtree fight. I think that'd be just a brutal fight. But we're on to the main event. We got Song Yadong. They list him here as Yadong Song, but everyone else calls him Song Yadong. versus Chris Gutierrez. And this is, I think, a more closely matched fight than the odds indicate. Alex, I told you I wanted you to start this first. Jared, I'll let you go second, and then I'll wrap it up, and then we can just bullshit about whatever. But Alex, what do you see in here, man? This seems weird to me.
I see a trap where they need action on the dog. You know, they
Okay.
clearly use this lineup to try to drive action on the dog because it's no one's gonna just lay juice on this. What they're gonna make him an anchor, or they're gonna add an over under, or they're gonna take a prop with Song. So
Now, what is he now? Do you have access to that? I know he's not minus 370 right now.
oh, he isn't. All right, that's good. Is he
He
lower?
can't be. He's got to be higher, dude. Minus 450 or some shit. Let me see.
I looked earlier today on DraftKings. He was like minus 390.
Okay, so he's creeping up.
About where that is right now, minus 370. He's at minus 400 on Bovada.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, I think the line should be closer. You're absolutely right. I think Chris could keep it close. I think it hurts Chris that it's 5 rounds.
Can you see that there? Probably can't see that. On FanDuel, my book of choice, he's minus 430.
But here's the thing: we could see this be a stand-up fight. If Song doesn't show high IQ in this fight, this could be a close fight and he could lose. And here's the scenario I see him losing is just standing up with them on the feet, trading a lot of leg kicks, and Chris just out-chews him out on the leg kick department. I could see a lot of calf kicks landing, and then Song would have to switch his game up. If Song doesn't come out the gate and mix it up, wrestle, I'd be worried. I'd be worried right away because if this is a pure stand-up fight, I'd chalk those odds way down. Way down. Like you got to think, if this was a kickboxing fight, if this was a 1FC Muay Thai fight, what would the odds be?
Yeah. Yeah, but you got to think about Team Alpha Male, right? Uriah Faber is not letting him come in there with a bad game plan. No one thought he was really going to beat Ricky Simone, right? He knocked him out in the 5th round. I don't know.
I wonder what that line was against Ricky Simone. I think it was pretty close.
Well, we can see.
Good line. Good line.
I had I remember this was on the same night as BKFC 41, so I was working. I vividly remember this because I took heavy action on both sides, but I took let me see here. I took rounds 3, 4, and 5 submission for Simone, and I took 3, 4, and 5 knockout Song, and so I cashed the Song side. But let's see what that line was at. About Simone was the favorite at minus 125, and Song Yadong was at essentially even money, plus 105. So I don't know, man. Kind of a weird fight though, right? But go ahead. Go ahead, Jared.
Oh, I was saying no, in hindsight, the odds are kind of crazy there.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean it was a dominant fight for Song. But Alex, before we move to Jared fully, did you give a like a legit pick here?
Yeah, I'll go with Song by submission.
Song by submission, huh? That's interesting. Okay. You thinking early, late? You got a round in mind?
Yeah,
This is the main event.
I'm gonna go late, like round 3.
Oh shit, okay. Calling the shot. I like it. I mean, how many submissions does this dude have, by the way? He's never lost by submission. He's got 3 subs out of his 20 something wins, 20 even wins. Not bad. Kind of as crazy as my my Muniz knockout, right? That's kind of almost as crazy as that. Jared, where are you at on this, man?
I think this fight is Song boxer, Gutierrez kicker. Is it's tough because Song has, incredible hands, a ton of forward pressure. I mean, you very rarely see him on the back foot, but I mean, the dude's just so explosive. He's not weak anywhere on the feet. Gutierrez, I don't know, man. He got great kicks. I mean, I think that's all I can say. And but he's one of the best, calf kickers probably in the UFC. But I hate how wide the line is here.
Yeah.
I think both guys are very durable. I see them both talking about finishes in their interviews. I could see this one being both guys are just one of those ones where it is a banger, but they're just both too tough to go down, and somehow goes the distance. And I'm sure it'd probably be good odds on that too. But I'm gonna have to side with Song decision. Although I won't be surprised if Gutierrez just kicks that leg out early.
And he has no choice but to freaking just fall down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gutierrez does have good leg kicks. Um, see, I think the toughness edge goes to Gutierrez actually, because we've seen Song cut up. And that's obviously not his fault. That doesn't mean that you're not tough if you get cut up, but he might have softer skin compared to Gutierrez. I think Gutierrez has that leather skin.
I
And
kind of agree. I don't really even think Gutierrez has taken even close to the amount of damage that Yadong Song has taken. Yadong Song's gone through his dog fights already. He's had a couple dog fights. I don't think Gutierrez has really had one of those really brutal dog fights. This is going to be his first five
probably
round
right.
dog fight. He deserves to be the underdog here, but it's a prove it to me fight for him.
Yeah, you're probably right, man. I mean, the thing is, like, it. So we're talking about a bantamweight fight here, right? So I have no doubt that Song is going to be champion someday, man. He's 26 years old. Like, he's going to be a champion. That loss to Corey Sandhagen, the only reason he lost that was because of a doctor stoppage, man. I think Corey Sandhagen absolutely murders Gutierrez. This loss right here to Pedro Munoz, I think that Song beats Munoz. I don't know if they fought before. Let me see. You know if they fought off the top of your guys' head?
I don't think they have. I feel like I would remember that.
Yeah, you'd think so, right? Okay, yeah, no, I don't see it. But just, beating Marlon Vera, like all these different things. Dude,
That was a robbery.
but still, man, I mean, it still counts, right?
It scarred my life.
Um,
Like Marlon plus money. I'm paying out everyone. Everyone bet with me too. Threw like the balance on it.
Marlon
So
Marias.
here too, right? This is a big jump in ranking.
Oh,
Chris
against
Gutierrez is he's ranked number 15. Song Yadong's ranked number 7. Like this is a real big jump here. If Song Yadong doesn't gatekeep this, I mean, that's crazy, right?
Yeah, it'd be a big shakeup for the division, dude. I just don't see how Song loses this, man. I think he's the well-rounded fighter. I do think he's I was saying that Gutierrez is the tougher fighter, but Alex, you kind of made a good point there where, Song might be the tougher guy, probably likely is. He's got the 5-round cardio. He's shown that against a better competitor in Ricky Simone. Yeah, dude, give me Song, man. And give me Song by knockout. I think he might be able to knock out Gutierrez, and I think it could come earlier than people think. Round 2, round 3, something like that. We've seen these weird freaking main events lately, and I think that train kind of continues there in the Apex where just some weird shit happens. I know last week was in Austin, but yeah, man, give me Song round 2 or 3 knockout. Pretty solid. Pretty confident in that. But yeah, man, I don't know if you guys had anything else you wanted to mention. We could talk about the next card a little bit if you want, or if we wanted to wrap up, we can save that for next week. I mean, dude, I'm fucking excited. I'm already looking forward to that card, and I might not even be able to see it, which sucks.
Well, I got to redeem last week's parlay that I gave you.
Okay.
Absolute dog shit. I got another parlay for you.
What do you got?
It's gonna be Costa, Junyong Park, Afghani Kelvin Gastelum, and Suma Durji. And the 4 of them is plus $650 to pay $350.
Fuck yeah. Plus 600. Plus 650, you said?
No, plus 600. I put $50 on it to get $350 back.
Yeah, but the odds are plus 650.
Plus 600.
The odds are plus 600 this morning.
Okay. Plus 600. Thank you. Yeah, dude, that's solid actually. Interesting.
And worth mentioning too, the odds don't come out for ONE FC until like usually Thursday or Friday. But they got a full Muay Thai card on Friday. It's
Dope.
worth watching, even if you're not betting on it. 3 guys, if you can get odds on them: Semipech Fairtex, Johan Ghazali, Roman Krikula. I don't see a world where any of those 3 guys lose. That's Friday night.
What was the last one you said? Fairtex, which I agree is he related to Stamp?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, dude, I love Stamp Fairtex, by the way. I bet on her, and she was like my anchor to like 3 of my parlays, and I'm actually a big fan, dude. She's kind of hot in a
Dude,
weird way.
bro,
In a weird way, okay?
she did a seminar at the gym like 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah, it was cool.
That's sick, dude. Okay, so you
But
said
yeah,
Fairtex. I don't know how you
Semipech
spell that.
Fairtex, Johan Ghazali, Roman Krikula.
I'll just say Roman for the last guy. Yeah, they should be on DraftKings or something. I'll take that, man. I'll blindly follow it. I blindly followed one of Alex's basketball picks and it won for me. So why not? Alex, you got any kind of parlays or any kind of special bets you want to throw down? I haven't even thought about it yet,
Tim
but
Elliott, more takedowns. Tim Elliott, 2+ takedowns. I'm gonna go let's go Song to get 2 takedowns. Mm, pretty much it for now. I'm betting all the Asian fighters.
Actually,
They-
Alex, I had a feeling you were gonna say you wanted all the Asian fighters. I had an Alex parlay.
what is that?
He foreshadowed what I was gonna bet.
Tyra, Park, Song.
Okay.
Wow, isn't that the sign? Song, Park. Tyler.
Tyra.
I mean, that doesn't even sound crazy. I'm not on the side of
Yeah, plus 500.
I'm not on the
bless
side of Park, or
Garbo.
I'm sorry, Song, but yeah, man. Interesting. I like it. The
Don't be a
Asian bet.
degenerate and parlay him.
We
Round
call it
robin.
the yellow fever bet, dude.
Be a gent in round robin.
Yeah, man. I'm not a big fan of round robins, but they do hit. They do hit more often. Guys, this was fun, man. I'm excited to, if you guys want to talk again next week, depending on when we do it, I might be in Philly. So, I'll be recording from a hotel with no microphone, but I'll have my computer. So that might be kind of fun. Probably be shit-faced at night there. So we'll see what's up, but up to you guys. And I appreciate you guys' takes, dude. I think that we had a hit and miss card last card, but I got a good feeling about this one, dude. I got a good feeling. Jared, why don't you sign off with anything that you want people to know about, any stuff that you promote, whatever it is, man.
Dude, thanks for having us on.
It's a pleasure.
Profit picks. Look at Pro Schmo bets too. If you're looking for a group chat or something, shoot Pro Schmo bets a DM, get in the community. I got a good feeling too, man. It's redemption time. Hit or miss last card. I think we're gonna do well here.
Dude, your plus 600 on parlay actually looks really fucking good. Like,
I don't hate it.
do you do unit bets, or how do you do it? You said you put 50.
Yeah, so basically, I don't know, man. So what I try to do is I go into every card. No, I don't go into every card with the same amount of money. Like, if I'm not really confident, I'll go with like $100 or 150.
Okay.
But if it's a card that like I feel like I have a lot of spots, I'll go maybe up to like 500. And then every, maybe once a year I'll have that bet that I'll put 1,000 or more on. But like a card like this, I'll probably go into it with $300. I'll have a parlay like that I put $50 on. I'll probably put 50 on one FC the day before, depending on what the odds are. And then I kind of just spread into like bets of 50 to 25, but every week I have the one straight bet or 2 big favorites and a 2-teamer to get anything close to even odds. And I'll have that one bet a week that I'll put the most on. That way, if any of those parlays don't hit, my most confident bet makes up for it. So that's the system I do. Like, I know everybody has their own strategy, but I don't think you should go into the same card or every card with the same amount of money, because you're not always as confident every week.
Yeah, so I do the same thing as him. I'm betting a lot of straight bets, and I use that to cover my punts.
Right. So like, yeah, the things you're the most confident on, you should be putting the most money on.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
the parlays and stuff, that all the stuff that, yeah, you really do think this will happen too, but you're gambling. So less money, higher
Yeah,
pay.
dude. I hope you hit that, Jared. It makes me not want to bet on fucking Muniz just so that that'll hit, and then I can be stoked for you. But yeah, good luck, man. Honestly, good luck. And you got some plugs in there. Let me know if you want anything else too. But Alex, what's up with you, dude? Any last words?
Well, shout out to Pro Schmo last week. He was the only one who could make some goddamn money, even though he only had
Hey, I
one.
made some good money too.
He only had one
Yeah.
nice parlay that hit. But shout out to Harry. He gave out some picks. He's heavy on Song this week, and he told me he's looking to parlay him with another enormous favorite on the card, and he hasn't decided which favorite that is. He's undecided between Nazareth.
And
Um,
Stephanie Egger.
no,
Imagine that, dude. If I can throw in that.
no, he's thinking about Luana on the other end, and
Really?
yeah,
I know
and
he's heavy on Song too. I know he's ready to dump the balance on Song.
Mhm.
It makes sense.
I don't want to quote him, but I think he said 90% of a count on Song and Daniel Marcos, but Daniel Marcos didn't make it. So I know he's very, very confident on Song, which makes it hard for me to go against him.
I think he likes Toledo as well.
So there is no odds. Oh yeah, there is. Okay. I was gonna say it's kind of weird. Yeah, man. I was trying to throw together a parlay real quick. Song Yadong, Khalil Roundtree. Those are, I think I'm pretty confident in those two. You can throw in Young Sung going against Shannon Ross. That's just, believe it or not, that's plus 101 with those three. I mean, you're taking massive favorites, but it seems like a lock, man, with those three right there. So I don't know. Kind of tough to find spots. Like you said, I think that parlay that you got is solid there, Jared. But we'll wrap up. I appreciate you guys hopping on, having some fun here, talking some shit, and hopefully we can do it next week. If you guys want to come on, if we can hopefully get Nick on, that'd be cool. But we'll see, man. I can
Yeah,
send
we're
you.
gonna have Harry Goat back.
Hey, dude, if we can get Harry back on with Nick, I think Nick would like Harry a lot too.
Oh, we'll have the squad, the dream team.
I know, dude. It would be like a little basketball team here. We got 5 of us. And yeah, dude, I think like you said, he'd like Jared a lot too. So yeah, we got some fun times ahead, guys. But if you guys want this video, let me know. Other than that, everybody, thanks for listening. Normal conspiracy content coming out. You guys know that I got the soap for sale as well, and that's not like a drug connotation or nothing. We literally sell conspiracy themed soap, so it's fun. But thanks, guys.
Soap? What kind of soap is this?
Oh, dude, like conspiracy themed shit. Fucking Loch Ness monster scent right here. Eucalyptus mint. We got the
It's on
black
a Fight Club wave right now.
got the black cube. That's what I'm saying, dude. We
Oh,
live the
the
lifestyle.
Black Cube. I know about the Black Cube.
We got Bigfoot bait. This will attract Bigfoot when you wear it.
Yeah,
And then
that's pretty good.
we got
Black Cube,
invasion.
You did all that.
Look at that. Yeah, dude, I draw the labels. I do all kinds of shit over here.
All right, let me ask you a question though, right?
I
So
like that.
Thanks,
my girl got me some soap from a video that she saw on Instagram, like Dr. Squatch or some shit.
Okay.
And it was a great bar soap, and I used it for 3 days, and the thing was fucking disintegrated.
They're cold pressed. That's why. So I'm assuming you take hot showers like a normal person, right?
Yeah, I'm not a psycho.
Yeah. So yeah, you're not like Joe Rogan where you're like, you got to take ice baths every day. So
Dude, have fucking fun out there. I'm gonna just go to work.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So these are heat pressed, and that was my thing. Was I love Dr. Squatch, and these are made by a professional wholesaler. We just get them for a discount because one of my friends that has a podcast as well, his wife happens to work for this company, and if you wanted to buy a single bar of their soap, it's $10. But since they sell them to us for wholesale, we sell the set of 4 for 24. So like all 4 of those scents that I showed you, we sell those. So it's like comparable to Dr. Squatch, $6 a bar. But these bars, I usually take 2 or 3 showers a day because I'll go out there and work out and shit. And a bar will last me like a week minimum, usually like 2 or 3 weeks. So you get essentially a month or two out of the 4 bars, depending on how much you shower. So yeah, dude, Dr. Squatch, man, the shit smells bomb, but it just doesn't last, like you said.
Yeah, it smelled great for 3 days, and then I was in the shower, no soap, and then I was like, oh, guess I gotta smell like my girl now.
Yeah, exactly, man. So yeah, dude, we're having fun, man. Just trying to sell shit and just have a good time. So feed the gambling habit by selling soap. But everybody out there, thanks so much for listening. We'll be back next week for the pay-per-view. Hopefully these guys can make it. If not, the show will still be here. So no matter what, guys, thank you for listening. Like I said, normal content coming back actually tomorrow. So thank you, everybody, and take care.